All right, let's see. I think we should watch House, but I want to watch this video on why Americans keep buying McMansions because it seemed interesting and I flagged it as watch with stream. It's also only 9 minutes long. Let's watch it because I want to know why are Americans, I didn't know Americans were buying houses at all. Why are we buying McMansions?
This is a McMansion. This too. And so is this one. You've probably seen a version of one in an American suburb.
Okay.
It's not a style of house. It can be Tudor one day, farmhouse the next day.
It's over 3,000 square feet. It's usually in the suburbs, and it's usually done in kind of a slap shot way.
A McMansion.
So a big house that maybe is, for lack of a better word, a little bit tacky.
Despite their, at times, poor reputation, they've never really gone away.
These are the houses that I sell most often. I was just in a bidding war of this exact type of house.
Okay.
And it's part of a larger trend. Home sizes in the US increased more than 20% between 1993 and 2023, while household sizes have decreased.
The McMansion didn't really go away. It's just that we started viewing housing in a different way.
People are making money on McMansions, but are they making as much money as they could have made on a different type of home for the same price point? And that's sort of a different question.
Okay.
So how did McMansions become so popular? And if they're considered a bad investment, why do Americans keep buying them?
Tell me more, CNBC, why Americans still have McMansions, okay? I mean, just being for real, though, I'm trying to think my guess. Obviously, Americans like things bigger in general, especially, if you're outside of a city. People want things big. They want a big truck. They want a big fucking car. They want a bigger house. I think that's part of it. But also, like, outside of the city where things are insanely expensive, a lot of places only build houses like this. If you're in the suburbs of, like, a lot of big areas of commerce, this is the kind of house you fucking get. This is what exists. There's not a lot of other options. So I would, I was thinking Atlanta was what I was thinking of, dude. Atlanta is all McMansions for fucking endless miles outside of the city proper, and you can't live in the city proper. It's crazy expensive. Especially if you want a family. So, I wonder if there's probably more of a zoning problem than just a demand one, but we'll see what they say.
McMansions first appeared in American suburbs in the 1980s. Middle-class families wanted bigger homes, and McMansions were the answer, a slice of the American dream.
Are you justifying your home? I live in a fucking small place in the city, okay? I live in not a McMansion. But Ari's talking about 3 kids, so maybe I will one day. Ari's talking about fucking 3. I don't know where the hell she got the number 3 from, dude. I said 1. Let's start with 1. She talking about 3, so you never know where it'll end up.
So they were produced en masse and cheaply. A couple of factors played a big part in their rise. The first was the deregulation of the mortgage industry. New laws passed in the 80s that allowed banks to make some risky financial moves.
Ronald Reagan!
Like allowing adjustable rate mortgages, or mortgages with interest rates that are variable.
Dude, adjustable rate mortgages is the dumbest fucking idea. It's just lying and tricking financially illiterate people. It is just tricking people. That is all it is, dude. My parents have one. I've never understood it. Just being clear, like, just quick paint here. Adjustable rate mortgage is like, you're going to buy this nice little house. Oh, that's not so nice. There, now it's nice. Okay? Now, normally in America, you might get a 30-year mortgage, 30-year fixed. And it'll be fixed at a certain interest rate. So let's say it's 7%. It's like, I don't know, it's like 8 right now? Something like that. So that's your payment. So if you're taking out $500,000, you're paying 7% interest for the 30 years, okay? So you'll know your payment Month one, you're going to know your payment. But an adjustable rate mortgage might be like 0% for 5 years or 2 years or whatever. And then it jumps up to 10 or 8 or 12 or whatever. It jumps up. And so you look at your payment in the first years and like, I can afford that. That's awesome. And you're not really thinking about how once it jumps up, you're probably not making a ton more money. And this only works, by the way, like you're usually underwater financially unless your house is much more valuable than it was when you acquired it. So adjustable rate mortgages are just kind of scammy. They're just kind of like, they're just a way to get someone to do a deal. But because most Americans look at the payment, whether it's a car or a house or anything. If they're borrowing for it, they look at the monthly payment. And so with this, it makes your monthly payment really low at the time you buy it, but really high down the road. It's a big problem in the UK too. Yeah, exactly. In the UK, I mean, most mortgages aren't even fixed 30-year. And so as interest rates go up every few years, you'll have a readjustment where rates go way higher. But what if you pay it off fast? If you paid it off fast, sure, that's fine. I mean, you could do that in either way. But most people don't. Just nobody. It's very uncommon to pay your house off fast. Most people aren't doing it. You have to have a lot of money. You have to if you have a lot of money, you just buy it in cash. The 30-year fix, by the way, is basically an American thing. This is kind of rare elsewhere. Doesn't the bank stop you from paying off too quick? I'm not going to speak for all contracts and deals. Maybe there's some that have penalties if you pay it off too early, but no, you can. You can pay it off early. I certainly, yeah, in my experience, no, you can pay it off early, but they just don't expect you to do it. Maybe credit score, maybe it's a credit score thing, yeah. Penalty for paying early. I mean, it does exist. It happens for cars too. Some of them make most of the money on your interest payments over a long term. That's where they get the real juice. So if you just pay it off early, they get screwed. They don't get screwed, but they lose the money they're expecting. So they'll have rules where you can't pay it off early.
Shifting the risk from the lender to the borrower. Borrowers who couldn't qualify for the traditional mortgages were able to get ARMs.
The adjustable rate mortgage really changed how people viewed home buying in America. And in fact, there was a lot of pushback against the adjustable rate mortgage because people thought it was a scam.
It was also a time when wages were growing rapidly, and the inequality gap was widening. Big homes were a way for people to show off.
Because if you're seeing, I can have a 4,500 square foot home with, 5% down, and I can get this mortgage that I'm not really qualified for, and people jump on that.
In doing a simple Google search, you'll find many different types of McMansions. One common theme beyond size is often the number of amenities. A gym, a bar, a large entertainment room, a basement. The list goes on.
Can you imagine, dude, the fucking American dream?
A large...
Hit up your own personal bar, sit down in your own personal movie theater. Don't talk to your wife or kids. Don't leave the house for a month straight. Just fucking vibing. Just W's, dude. You do not need a third place when your house has 5 places. Just fucking sit there.
Large entertainment room, a basement. The list goes on.
That amenity-driven plan, that is a specific type of plan. That is what the McMansion really is. There's just so much space, and it's hard to integrate it under one roof.
And many were built with cheap materials, like new lumber or mass-produced stucco, fake stone veneer, or vinyl siding. Also a result of the new technological developments in building in the 20th century.
Don't worry me none.
In 2007, the median price of a McMansion was about $520,000. They accounted for 15% of all suburban homes at that time.
They seemed like a really good investment. You're like, great, I can have this big house and I can afford it. And, I'll be able to resell it for more than I paid for it. And to a large extent, that is true.
Oops.
The American financial system is rocked to its foundation as top Wall Street institutions topple under a mountain of debt.
The abundance of subprime mortgages and low interest rates came to a screeching halt in September 2007. As interest rates rose, many borrowers couldn't afford their higher monthly payments, and therefore defaulted on their loans. In some cases, homeowners owed more than their homes were worth, which led to widespread foreclosures and a bankruptcy crisis.
Until home prices stop falling, things just aren't going to get any better.
Home building activity declined sharply, creating a significant gap between supply and demand that led to a housing shortage. McMansions gained a reputation for being a bad investment.
This house looks like it was designed by someone who maybe saw a house once in their life, but either had some sort of visual issues or was wearing kaleidoscope glasses that you get during Halloween.
And instead of buying McMansions, Americans downsized or got into home improvement.
They wanted to conserve on gas bills, water bills, air conditioning, all of their utilities. They felt like they only needed maybe a smaller home, a ranch, something practical. That was a very, very short-lived notion.
And now it's back?
Buyers eventually came around. According to Realtor.com, McMansions represented up to a quarter of all.
Too bad I was in school instead of dropping out and buying a house. Yeah, this time was when you guys should have been buying a house. Okay, 2010, 2011. Why the fuck weren't you guys in a market buying a 30-year fixed at 1 or 2% on a house? What was your fucking problem? What were you doing? Playing Nintendo Wii? Dumbass. Should have been out there fucking in the real estate market, grinding.
All home sales in the years leading up to the pandemic. The trend accelerated in the years since. Yet it's become harder to afford a home than ever before. Mortgage rates in 2025 will likely remain high, while home prices have skyrocketed. Construction costs have inflated too. Building a home is incredibly pricey.
It's good though, because our ever-growing friendship with Canada will lead to cheaper lumber as we import more from our northern neighbors. So it'll be fine. It'll be fine. The strong partnership will get the lumber into our hands.
Prices are expected to rise even more, with potential tariffs imposed by the Trump administration. And that's helped McMansions.
They are becoming the choice of first-time home buyers who don't want a 1960s split level, but can't maybe go into the price bracket of a new construction home.
McMansions have in fact appreciated at nearly the same rate as regular homes when looking at Zillow data. Though it's important to note that Zillow doesn't...
Dude, a 5-bedroom home, that's crazy. That's crazy. You gotta have a big fucking...
break out a McMansion from other 5-bedroom homes. The McMansion premium, or the extra money buyers are willing to pay for a larger, amenity-filled home versus another one, has fallen.
Still a lot.
If you are stuck in the middle of the city with a large family and you're just out of space and looking for a larger home, but maybe the stuff near you isn't as affordable and the stuff that's big enough that's being built right now isn't affordable, then this is a good opportunity for you.
McMansions are less than 20% of all home sales. In Bergen County, New Jersey, one of the most sought-after real estate markets outside the New York City metro, Rubenstein says McMansions are as popular as any other house.
Even these...
That's a McMansion? Isn't that just a mansion? Am I crazy? What actually defines Mick? It's just a fucking mansion, bro. That's a big-ass fucking house with fucking acreage.
Even these houses are getting multiple offers. I bid myself for a client $100,000 over ask, and there were many offers above.
Experts say their investment value is determined on a case-by-case basis.
Nah, fuck that.
McMansions located near cities
don't do it.
appreciate better than ones further out in the suburbs. The desirability of the zip code matters too, of course.
If they're really far out from the city and really just like in a completely amenity poor area, then yeah, they sit on the market forever because no one wants to drive 20 minutes to go to the grocery store.
I really don't think it's about...
That's the American dream, lady! I need to be at least 20 minutes from the nearest anything, okay? Because I want to be on the open road. I want to drive. And by the way, I'm going to Instacart my groceries so I can stay at home and watch TikToks on the TV in my private theater, okay? That's my fucking plan. And if you aren't fucking with it, you can get the hell out, dude. That's clearly painted grass. Oh, maybe. I don't. It looks like it could be sod, right? It just stops here. Doesn't look good though, man. This fucking house with actually nothing around, not even built. Fucking 25 minutes from anywhere.
I really don't think it's about the house itself. I really think it's about, the location, buying in a place that people are going to want to buy in 5 or 10 years.
It also hinges on the construction.
Some of these large homes with large yards that need maintenance, with maybe lower quality building materials that need to be replaced, can have a higher cost of ownership than something that was built a little more sturdy and built to last.
Right.
Some mcMansions do take a price cut, as the more unique amenities like a fake river in a living room or a movie theater aren't for everyone. And any home older than 20 years.
A fake river in the living room. Damn, what kind of house is this for a regular person? Even this is crazy. You need that. You need that.
Or a movie theater.
And why is the movie theater medieval themed with stone? What is this? What are you watching in this?
Aren't for everyone. And any home older than 20 years will likely need repairs. Yet it will be especially crucial in 2025 to evaluate just how much maintenance a home will need. New tariffs on steel and aluminum, a volatile economy, and crackdowns on immigration are expected to make construction even more pricey. If there's a lot to fix, a mcMansion would be a terrible investment, even if the price per square foot is relatively low in comparison.
Yikes. Buying a home is seldom a bad investment. And even when it is kind of a tax.
Yeah, I just want to be clear. This guy works in real estate, I assume, or that type of talk is why we got into the problem in 2007, bro. Realtors in 2006. I will say it's seldom a year-to-year bad investment, and then it has the bad part comes all at once.
Wacky suburban mcMansion. What we're seeing across the market at all price tiers and size tiers is an increase in price reductions right now. So for buyers, if you're looking to get into a bigger home, these mcMansions might be a good option.
I think the only ones that have not held their value as well are the ones that look like you walk in and you're like, okay, it's 1995. So people don't want to be transported back in time. They want something that's been maintained. People want a new construction house.
Interesting. I don't know how much I learned from that, but it was an interesting discussion. Look, the real estate market is different all over America, but there's definitely areas like in Texas where they built a bunch of mcMansions and they aren't selling. And the prices are dropping consistently and nobody's buying. And it's fucking bad. And if you had bought in early, you're like one of the only people in your neighborhood that bought, and you notice they haven't filled the houses around them, and they're starting to rot, and it's driving down your property value, I'll just be careful, bro. I'll be careful with an investment like that. I can squat in them just fine.